Andy, your thoughts on today's match, please?
Looking forward to a very tough encounter here at Doncaster. I think we've put a very good side out and so have they. So I'm thinking we should have a good game today.
Can you give us any team news on the match, please?
Yeah, we've Jack Bussey and Ian Hardman didn't make it through from the injuries on Monday, so they're both out of the squad. We brought Matt Ryan in from Wakefield on dual reg to bolster up our pack in the back row. And who else has come in? Somebody else has come in. Jamie Cordin. Yeah, I knew someone else had come in. Jamie Cordin's come back in, and he'll play in the right centre for us.
Obviously, a lot of problems last week with kick-offs and things like that. Are you working on that during the week?
Well, these don't kick off the same as Hunslet, so we haven't really been specifically working on that. What we have worked on is our game management, so hopefully see some positive steps forward in how we control the game and our kicking game.
Any news on Gareth Moore? He's not started the past couple of games for Rovers.
He's got a sore knee and he's not fit to play at the moment, so until that's sorted he won't be starting.
Remy Marchanagan on the bench must have been pleased with how things turned around when he came on last week.
Certainly, they're excited today. They've seen this surface, and Remy and Sam Irwin and Andy Ellis have all been on it and had a good look at the surface, so hopefully we can get the ball going pretty quickly and using some of them players out of dummy half and attacking their line and Doncaster's line, and I think we might see some better play from them today as well.
Have you got a game plan in mind to counter Paul Cook, because he caused a lot of problems for us last year?
I think he does, yeah. He causes a lot of problems for every team, so yeah, we've got a defensive system where we hope we can handle him, and we'll see after the game, but we've got players in and around him who are capable of defending him well. Jai, he's going to obviously try and spot up what he does, and we've got Dave Scott out the back as well, so we're under pressure with Cookie, not just him. They've got some good players in there with the dual reg with Hull, so across the board they're a different team to last week.
Just one last point, last year Rovers didn't beat Doncaster, so you must be looking to itching to set the record straight.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about winning this year, and we need to get a win here today, so whatever the bogey team is, if it's Doncaster, we need to set the record straight today, and I think we're prepared for it, and I think we're ready, and we'll just see how the boys go now.
Andy, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Keepmoat Stadium here in Doncaster for today's Kingston Press Championship match between Doncaster and Featherstone Rovers. Quick rundown of the team news for you first of all. Starting at fullback is number 1, Dave Scott. In the three quarters, number 26, Sam Doherty. Number 31 on dual reg from Hull is Steve Michaels. Number 3, Danny Cowling, and number 5 is Stuart Sanderson. In the half-backs is number 6, Paul Cook, and number 34 on dual reg from Hull is Jordan Rankin. In the front row for the Dons, as they will be kicking off now, Rovers playing from left to right in the first half. In the front row for the Dons, number 8, Matt Carbett, number 35, James Cunningham at hooker, he's on dual reg, as is Pale Asina, also on dual reg. From Hull, he's wearing 33. In the second row, number 12, Steve Stitch, number 4 is Pascal Dunn, and at loose forward, number 13 is Mike Emmett. Here are Rovers in possession over on that far side as Ellis moves that ball in field, and Rovers trying to work out now from their own 20. Give you a rundown of the Rovers team news in a moment. Here are Rovers though, trying to work out from their own half now. Ellis waits, he moves the ball inside to Lockwood. Lockwood starting at loose forward today. Here is that last tackle now. The hand goes up and Ellis finds Sykes with a kick through. It's a flat kick. Bounced a couple of times. Nobody wants that pass for the Dons. Stuart Sanderson and Dave Scott, a bit of a mix up there. Rovers fans liking what they see over there. Rovers now lining up at fullback, number 21 is Jai Hitchcock. Three quarters sees one change. It's Jamie Cordin comes in for the injured Ian Hardman. His partners Nathan Chappell in the centres, and the two wingers, as you were last week, is Will Sharp and Ben Blackmore. Doncaster now on their own 40 as Cunningham waits, attacking half-back. He moves the ball out. So loose forward, Mike Emmett on halfway now. The front row for Rovers as there comes a knock on from the Dons. Referee Warren Turley this afternoon in discussion with his touch judge. Gishead and Feet are Rovers on halfway. The front row for Rovers sees number 8 Jordan Baldwinson, number 9 Andy Ellis and number 10 Paul Wood. In the second row this afternoon for Rovers is number 19 is Alex Foster. On dual registration from Wakefield, number 34 is Matt Ryan, and James Lockwood moves into the second row. On the bench for Rovers, Tim Spears, Matt James, Andy Bostock and Evan Marginet. And as said earlier on, today's match referee is Mr. Turley. Rovers now in possession over on that far side. Sykes drops that pass off. Here's Baldwinson. Joe, your thoughts on today's match, please?
Well, today's match has two teams that had particularly good years in last season. Now, as you see Owen bringing it down the right, he of course had a very promising game, particularly in the second half on slip. Both teams will want to build on second half performances, which really transformed both of their encounters last week. And to me, the Rovers' performance is all about controlling Paul Cook. He's a man who's undone us on many an occasion, and he could well do today. If we can wrap him up though, we've stopped Doncaster.
Indeed we do. Here's a kick from sight. It's a high kick. Sharp jumps. Is he tackled in the air? No, it's the turnover that's on the last tackle. So a good high kick there from Sykes, putting pressure on the Doncaster line. Sharp able to take that ball, but well wrapped up by the Dons defence. Here come Doncaster now, trying to work out from their own half. Just short of 30 metres out, centre field. Paul Cook is very much the dummy man, but Doncaster, Joe, having 5 players in on dual reg today from the whole side, they could make a difference as well.
Yeah, all 5 of those players were featured in last week's encounter with London Broncos, and of course that fantastic second half performance to really take it to the wire. Only 4 points in it at the end. So they've got other players who certainly carry a threat, and Dave Scott had a particularly good game against us last year. Also, by all reports, had a good campaign with Scotland over the autumn.
Indeed, a good kick over the top there from the Dons. It's going to be a scrum down on the 10-metre line for Rovers. So Rovers pen back. Still Doncaster 0, Featherstone 0. Coming up to 5 minutes gone in the first half here at the Keepmoat Stadium. The first of a double header here this afternoon. Kicking off at 4:15 here at the Keepmoat today as well. We'll see the Sheffield Eagles. They will be playing the London Broncos, so that'll be another outstanding match for the fans here to enjoy. As that scrum goes down, Ellis out to base the scrum, finds Will Sharp. That's good defence from the Dons. They'll be looking to carry on from their second half performance last week in London, as will Rovers from their second half at home at Wakefield against the Hawks. Irwin now takes that ball from us in half. One of the differences this year, Joe, the Rovers have got so many players, not just relying on Andy Ellis from dummy half. They've got the likes of Sam Irwin, Marginet when he comes on. So many players can go in at in half and make a difference. As Ellis gets away and is collared, that was a good half break from Ellis. Here's the last. It's another kick over the top from Sykes. That one disappointing. It's well taken by Dave Scott. And here's the return. But Rovers, Joe, so many options from acting half-back.
Yeah, we've certainly got plenty of options there, and let's not forget Luke Teasdale, of course, not featured in the squad today, neither was he last week at Hunslet, but what a fantastic end to the season that young lad had last season, and I'm sure he's not seen the end of it.
Certainly not, and here Doncaster now just short of their own 30-metre line. It's a good drive through, and that's good defence from Baldwinson in there, along with Lockwood. And here's a kick over the top from the Dons again, an early kick this time. Hitchcock comes across his take. He had a great debut, great competitive debut last week for Rovers, did Jai Hitchcock's. Named man of the match by Joe. That ball's come loose and it's a knock on. So Rovers with a mistake on their own 30, and with a player like Paul Cook in the Dons side, Rovers can't afford to do that too often this afternoon.
No, this game's going to be very much about keeping Doncaster at bay. They scored plenty of points last week against a full-time outfit, so we know that they can keep going into that second half, and we know that they're dangerous near the line without a doubt. When you're playing against a team which is very reliant on one player, how do you combat that? Many people would try and put the shot on a player like that, try and knock the steam out of him, but when it's a player like Paul Cook, he's got to put some feet on you, use some trickery, or put a player out on his outside. Also, they always make sure you have support runners at Doncaster, so to me, you put your big men in, you get Paul Wood and Andy Bostock to run at Paul Cook, make him work, make him tired for that second half, and try and knock the steam out of him that way, Ben.
Indeed, here at Doncaster now, on the Rovers 20, just short of the 10-metre line now. It's actually the 18-yard goal line for the football. Here are the Dons. That's a good drive forward though by Matt Carver for the Dons. Just meters short now, Doncaster. Cook with a kick through. Blackmore's left it. What on earth was Ben Blackmore doing then? I do not know. A big mistake from Blackmore. It was a good kick through from Paul Cook, sorry. But Ben Blackmore, I don't know if he lost sight of the ball or if it was an awkward bounce, Joe, but that ball, Blackmore just seemed to completely leave it, and Doncaster able to drop over the line. We've got 8 minutes on the clock. It's Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 0.
Yeah, I'm clueless as to the thinking behind that from Ben Blackmore. Don't know if he was trying to leave it, see if he could work it out to touch by straddling the line, and then he'd of course be able to start in the top 20. But this early in the game, surely you just put that dead, get set for the drop out and say, look, we can defend this. Have confidence in yourself to be able to hold out against the side. But yeah, you leave it too long like that, it's dangerous, and teams going to take advantage of you.
So Rovers start again, it's scrappy. Coming up to 9 minutes on the clock, the Rovers are down by 4 points to 0. Nobody seems to know who scored that try. At least so the Doncaster staff around us, so that one remains a mystery. It is going to be the number 5 kicking the goal. It's going to be Stuart Sanderson. Joe thinks it may have been Steve Michaels who scored, but we don't know. As the rain teams down, that kick has gone underneath the uprights. So 9 minutes gone here in the first half at the Keepmoat. Not the start, but Rovers wanted. An error from Blackmore. But Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 0.
Yeah, Rovers need to make sure they respond to this well now. You've got to kick it deep, make sure you've got a good chase on it, and try and pin this Doncaster side back. We've not had an attack on their line yet. We're 9.5 minutes into this game. We're yet to have our first opportunity.
Danny Cowling is announced as the try scorer there on the stadium system. And the Dons are certainly going forward well at the moment. That's a good drive by Palliasina on Joel Redge from Hull. Got Sheffield players sat across from us waiting for their match against the Broncos later. That's an early kick from Cook. Rovers got a hand to it. It's bounced on the 40 and Will Sharp takes it. He'll start the return from his own 30. Trying to cut across the line, Will Sharp, but met well by Paul Cook. An early kick from the Dons trying to pen Rovers back. And here goes Blackmore trying to make amends for his mistake. Ellis waits now. Paul Wood gets Rovers into the Dons half, just. Ellis points to the right hand side and then goes left. Here's Lockwood now. Lockwood to Irwin. Irwin sights. Rovers over the side, that's a good run. It's Jai Hitchcock's over on that far side. Ellis again, Sykes drops it off to Baldwinson. Baldwinson's such a strong player. He's got such a future ahead of him. Ellis, Sykes now. Sykes with a kick. This is a good attacking set. The kick slightly too deep, and that's taken by the Dons. But Rovers get to the end of the set, Joe. A good kick from Sykes, and Rovers now were looking to defend deep.
Yeah, it was a good response. We returned the early kick well there. you're going to see a lot more of these kicks put high into the air today. We've got the rain coming down, early start to the season. No players are wanting to take these catches on the full. So definitely it's going to be a real battle today between Paul Cook and Paul Sykes.
The battle of the poles. It'll be interesting to see how that one turns out. Palliacina plays the ball to Cunningham. Here are the Dons now, over on that far side now. It's James Cunningham, but there's a penalty. It's a penalty for the Dons, holding down in the tackle. Rovers certainly can't afford to be doing that too often this afternoon. As Jordan Rankin finds touch. Cunningham takes that tap now. Takes on that line himself. Rankin waits, attacks in half-back. Goes to the right, Doncaster working the short side as the rain teams down here at the Keepmoat. 12 and a half minutes gone here at the Keepmoat. Still Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. Cook drops that ball off to the left-hand side. Ball Cook now in it, that's in half-back. He will take this one. Palliacina. He's going to be a big asset for the Dons this year, is Palliacina. The Dons camped in, the Rovers 10 at the minute. Cunningham, Cook, and the Dons looking to try one of their set moves, but good defence from Rovers. Once again the Dons camped on the Rovers line. It's another kick from Cook. Rovers having none of that one on that occasion. It's been knocked dead. It's going to be a dropout. Good pressure from the Dons, Joe, and Palliacina on Joe Redstone Hull is causing a lot of problems.
Yeah, he's a strong, powerful runner. We're doing well to wrap him up, though. Really causing trouble early on, though, with these cover kicks in behind the line. That all came from ill discipline, though, in the Doncaster half. We've done well to spin them back. We were on the 5th tackle, then conceded a penalty for holding down. Not what we want to see then.
Certainly not disciplined. Was an issue last week. Andy Hay looking obviously to try and stamp that out. And there's the dropout from Rovers. Trying to catch the Dons out. Almost did, but Danny Carling, the ball was knocked backwards. A change of tactics from the dropout still very nearly came off, Joe.
Yeah, it was a good grub out wide. The ball bounces nicely off the surface here, but of course you've got that unpredictability of the wet ground, and a mix-up between Carling and Sanderson there nearly left the Dons looking stupid.
Another drop ball from the Dons in the rain, but that one's gone back, says the referee. It's going to be like a bar of soap this afternoon. It's that level ball, and Mike Emmett takes it in now. Cunningham waits. Cunningham moves the ball inside. Here's Cook. Cook with another grubber in behind. Blackmore again, not taking the ball. It is a knock on though. Blackmore, Joe, to me, doesn't look very confident with these kicks. He had one that he left for the try. That one again, he looked unsure. And that mistake from the try seems to have knocked his confidence a bit.
Blackmore's certainly looking uneasy with these kicks in behind. To me, he did look ready to take that one until the hand came in, and referee's not going to have an easier decision today than that knock on there. But yeah, Ben Blackmore not got his game on yet. Let's hope he can prove himself in the second half like Joe Burgess did. Let's hope he can perform better in what's left of this half. Now as we're bringing it down the left-hand side, we're making good yards whenever we've got the ball, Rovers. We definitely look confident with the ball, but we need to be more disciplined in defence. And then we can finally have our first opportunity of the game as Jordan Bolvinson brings it up well again here.
Indeed, Rovers have had one attacking set in the Dons half. Came to nothing, it was a good kick, but Wilshire not able to get over. And here are Rovers on that far side now as Andy Ellis waits. Sykes drops that ball off to Lockwood. Lockwood gets Rovers up to halfway. It's the last tackle now. I rather fancy Cunningham may have been offside at that play. The ball, the kick is through. Taken well by Dave Scott, who dropped back to the corner. One thing I'll say about one thing we're going to see a lot of this afternoon. We've got two fullbacks, Joe, who aren't afraid to run that ball forward on the returns.
No, both fullbacks particularly threatening, so we're going to see a lot of long kicking in this weather. but we're also going to see some cracking returns. Hopefully we can see more of the fence and handles from Jai Hitchcocks that we saw last week. He got plenty of yardage off the back of them, that's for sure.
Indeed he did. And here the Dons now on the 40. It's Cunningham. Moves that ball inside to Paliacina. Looking for the offload, but well wrapped up by Rovers on that occasion. This is the last tackle, just short of halfway now, the Dons. It's a kick over the top from Rankin. That's easily enough though for Joy Hitchcock. And that's one of those returns Joe's just been talking about. A good 20-metre return. A lot of forwards have run that back on an angle. Joy Hitchcock's only going forward. And thanks to a great return, Joe, Rovers now are just short of halfway.
Yeah, perfect take on the full there, and he returns it with good strength. We're not seeing the handoff there, but we're seeing him power through the forwards. And then Wilshire, eager to get the ball off the back of that. Each one of these sets, we gain a good play of the ball, and someone's eager to take it. Exactly what we wanted to see.
Jai Hitchcock looks to be down on his knees at the minute. Think he's going to be okay. No, it's Irwin, sorry. So we're going to have to see a change here for Rovers. Probably earlier than was wanted. But it's a leg injury for Irwin. As the Rovers have kicked that ball deep, it's gone dead. And Sanderson will return it. But Irwin hobbling off. We're going to see the introduction of Marginet probably earlier than was wanted, Joe.
Yeah, Marginet's a player you really want to make an impact, but you've got to hope Sam Irwin's okay after that. He had a particularly strong performance last week, and throughout all pre-season he's looked right. So I hope that's alright, even if he's not able to return to today's game. Here we have a knock-on and Rovers have the ball back. That's brilliant to see. Sam Irwin still appears to be struggling on the touchline though.
Certainly, it looks to be quite a lot of pain, does Irwin. A mistake from the Dons. And Rovers now will get the first real chance to attack the Dons line. We're 18 minutes in here at the Keepmoat Stadium. Still 4-0 to the Dons. Rovers haven't really been an attacking threat so far in this match. Hopefully now that will change as here come Rovers. A good defence from the Dons. That's a mistake from the play the ball. It's Jamie Cordy. A loose play the ball, a knock on at the play of the ball. And Rovers, but not really so far, Joe, not really being much of an attacking threat in this match in the Dons half.
It's hard to have an attacking threat when you don't have an attacking set, Ben. We've not had a single play of the ball in there 20 metres, I don't think, and there we are, we've got another lack of composure there in an incident. Incorrect play of the ball causes a knock-on from Jamie Cordy, and then we concede possession once again. You can't score tries if you don't have the ball.
Certainly not on Cunningham now. As here comes Doncaster now, it's Mike Carver. They only played in the front row at the Dons, who is actually a Dons player. The other two are on dual reg from Hull. And here are the Dons on halfway now. Sanderson waits. Here's Carver again. Not scared of taking the ball in. It's Mike Carver running the ball in well at the Rovers line. Sanderson moves the ball out to the right hand side this time. It's a good kick from Rankin. It's a high kick from Rankin. It's going to bounce, the Rovers going to take it. They are. Hitchcock does well to get out of his own Blackmore, does well to get out of his own in-goal area. And that'll probably work better for his confidence, having able to return that ball and get in the Rovers half. As Andy Ellis now with a good run as well. 20 minutes gone here in the first half at Keepmoat Stadium. Still Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. Joe, your thoughts on the first 20?
Well, whenever Rovers are coming out of their own half, they're showing real resilience and they're coming out with good strength. Andy Ellis, a prime example there, breaking out with a good scoot. Those first yards are often the hardest to come by, but then we're just lacking composure whenever we get in the Dons half. And subsequently, we've not had a single attacking threat in the whole game. Doncaster, contrastingly, they're putting these cheeky grubbers in behind, and one time it's come up lucky for them.
Change for the Dons now. Mike Emmett is coming off. Didn't quite see who went on. But Emmett has had a good opening 20 minutes for Emmett, caused a lot of problems.
Substitution from Doncaster, field number 8, Matt Carlott, being replaced by number 14, Russ Spears.
Sorry, it's Russ Spears who comes on for Matt Carver. Sorry, not Mike Emmett. Here's Cook again though, running that show. It's a kick up through from Rankin, another drubber. Will Sharp does well to retrieve that though. But once again the grubber kicks through. I haven't really seen, I don't think so far, Joe, a high kick from the Dons this afternoon.
No, we've seen some deep kicks from them certainly, and we've seen these grubbers in behind the line. But no, they're opting to have it skipping across the turf rather than putting it high in the air. Obviously, they know that the Rovers' back line have fine abilities that they're able to take the ball in the full, and we have seen when the ball's gone in behind, Jai Hitchcock's return has been exemplary. So perhaps opting for the grubber is the right decision now, as we see Margaret desperately try to get the grubber away, but no one there to take it from him.
That's the offload, sorry, not the grubber. That's a kick from Sykes on the last. That's just going to run that's just too deep. It's going to run down, so the attack restarts on the 20. Lockwood trying to lift the team. The Rovers very much still in this match. 22 minutes on the clock, 22 and a half minutes. Rovers just need a break in the Dons half. They had one chance where Dons did knock on, but then from that set Rovers knocked on as well. So this game isn't over by a long chalk, and we're going to see the introduction of Tim Spears in a moment. He looks ready to go. As the Dons now just short of half in the football centre circle. Sanderson moves the ball out to the right hand side. It's Russ Spears. Rovers at Dons attacking the right again. It's a kick over the top from Rankin. Hitchcock scores the cross, but that does find touch. And I fancy we're going to see the Rovers change now. Coach is looking for the player who's coming off. Just having a word with one or two of the other players, as well as Lockwood who's come off. So Lockwood is off and Tim Spears is on for Rovers, Joe.
Yeah, Lockwood now getting his rest, but Tim Spears, he's really got to get that team going like he always does. He's part captain, part macho cheerleader, if you like. And certainly maybe we need somebody to add something into this side, so when bringing the ball forward, we've got more impetus about us. James Lockwood will be able to return to the team in the second half, and he'll have refreshed energy. We've seen Sam Irwin jogging along the sidelines. That's a brighter sign. Hopefully he'll be able to resume later in the game.
Hopefully so. That injury for Irwin did look very bad earlier, forcing Rovers into the change that probably they didn't want to make at that stage. I fancy that Rovers will have wanted to keep that change a little bit later in the match, because here goes Wood now. Such a strong player taking that ball forward as Paul Wood. Ellis now. It's Sykes from a kick, is inside his own 40. That ball's bounced, but it's bounced awkward. That's probably the kick of the game, and Nathan Chappell, what a tackle. Forcing the Dons into, causing Dave Scott to panic a little bit there as Doncaster make a change as well. That's lifted the Rovers side as that as well, Joe.
Yeah, the kick over the top from Paul Sykes has an awkward bounce. Dave Scott does well to take it, but Nathan Chappell, what a chase and what a shot to follow it up. Yeah, that's really giving us a lift. Sometimes one action like that can set your side going and give you 10 minutes of a real spurt.
Rovers seem to just seem a yard quicker and seem to have more energy in the tackle all of a sudden. Cording trying to chase that kick down for Wood. It's going to be Rankin, it was D. It's a high kick over the top. That was Irwin facing his own line, takes it on the second attempt. Hitchcock, sorry. 25 minutes gone here at the Keepmoat, still Doncaster 4, Rovers 0. So still nothing in this game. Rovers trying to work out Blackmore up to his own 40 now. As Bostock and Matt James come on and Paul Wood and Jordan Baldwinson go off. So Rovers ringing the changes. just the two players you want. When it's getting rough and tough, there's nobody better to come on, Joe, than Andy Bostock.
Yeah, without a doubt. Here we see a strong run. He's broke through, got his trademark offload away. Unfortunately, the Dons are there to take it. It's not come off for us this time, but he's going to cause some real trouble for this Dons defence, without a doubt.
It was a great run from Bostock. He was trying to find Matt James in support, but you've got to credit the Dons there, getting a player in between just to knock that ball backwards. A sense of mind to get in and to knock the ball back, and the Dons now in possession again. Sanderson waits, attacked in half-back. As the rain team's down here at the Keepmoat as well. It's an offload that's probably not wanted, Russ Spears. The ball's worked out, here's Rankin now. He looks quality for the Dons. I fancy he'll find Hillby causing a lot of problems this year. The ball's come through and it is a penalty to the Dons. Rovers fans on the far side don't like it. The referee's given a 2-on-1 steal and will stop the clock. Rovers asking the question. Here comes Tim Spears, the captain. He's allowed to speak to the referee. Couldn't quite see what happened there, Joe, but the Dons have the penalty.
Yeah, difficult spot from this distance. You've got to feel Nathan Chappell was maybe being a little greedy there, because the referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge, that's for sure. But then when the ball comes loose and he comes away with it, he's got little choice.
So the Dons now will start this set on halfway. Sanderson drops that pass off to Steve Snitch. And here come the Dons again now, trying to work into the Rovers half. It's Mitch Clark now. Here's Cook, drops that pass off inside. It's Pascal Dunn. I'm assuming he's a Frenchman, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming he is with a name like that. Sanderson gets that pass inside again, it's Russ Spears. Rankin drops that offload off. But good defence from Paul Sykes there. On Steve Snitch, stopping that attack dead. It's a kick from Rankin. That's going to run dead though. Jai Hitchcock's not interested. So Rovers will attack restart on the 20. It's a quick tap from Hitchcock. Able to get away from 2 or 3. And what a run from Hitchcock. It's a 25-metre tap restart. The Dons holding down. And that almost a professional foul there, Joe. But what a tap restart from Jai Hitchcock again.
This man's unreal with his handoffs. No team's able to handle him. He's going to cause real trouble all year round, clearly. On these returns, it's unbelievable. That on the tap 20. Don's defence weren't ready for him. He goes out wide, shakes off these players, and they've got no choice but to hold him up. Now Will Sharp showing he can do just as well, bringing the ball in. He really takes some work off the forwards.
It certainly does, and Rovers now look to have the tails up, but that's good defence. Ellis drops that ball off to Bostock. He's on a broken one through once. Half break again from Bostock. Ellis drops it off to Marginet. Here's Cording now. Rovers' first real attacking chance on the Dons line. Can they make it count as Ellis? Sykes. A loose pass from Sykes. It's flicked on to Blackmore. Blackmore has to cut inside. The ball's come loose. The Dons have got it. The chance has gone. But Rovers, good attacking pressure on the Dons line there. And the first real chance to make an impression, but it's not taken, Joe.
Yeah, first attacking opportunity there from the Rovers, and it's better. It's more like what we want to see. They bring it wide, they do look dangerous, but unable to finish it this time.
So it will be a scrum down head and feed on the 10 for the Dons. And here's Sanderson. He's on dual red from Hull, but he looks a real threat, does Sanderson. They've got so many young players, young looking players. Rovers defence is lifted as Lee Waterman comes on for the Dons. This is so much better from Rovers. Doncaster at the minute is struggling to get out of their own 20. Bostock and Spears in that tackle. And the ball's gone loose, Rovers have come up with it. Oh, come on Rovers, this is a real chance for Rovers now. As Jai Hitchcock's been forward into the line, here's Cordy. Hitchcock's was deep for the kick. Sykes now. Rovers bring the ball back in field. Marginet. Alex Foster now just short of the Dons line. Ellis. Marginet again. Sykes. The ball's gone behind. Will Sharp able to retrieve it, but Rovers lose momentum. Sharp able to get away from one. Ellis now. Marginet with a kick over the top for Blackmore to chase. Oh, it's just run dead in goal. So the Doncaster survive. One thing I've noticed, Joe, when Doncaster in possession in that last set, when the Dons had it deep in their own half, Jai Hitchcock is giving himself plenty of room to run forward into the Dons line. It must have been about 40 or 50 metres behind the defensive line.
Yeah, but when you have that level of pace, you know you're able to come onto these balls. We also have people like Remy Marginet who know when the kick's coming and they're able to act as a sweeper. Also, he's got fine wingers like Ben Blackmore, Will Sharp, who he knows have him covered. Will Sharp, particularly in that set, Hitchcock is unable to take the ball. How many times does Will Sharp get us out of jail there?
Rovers this year, the difference is they certainly have got quality across the three quarters, across the whole squad, to be fair. Alex Foster working hard again for Rovers. On roll dual red, of course, from Leeds. Paul Cook just passing instructions on to the players around him. Couple of early grubbers from Paul Cook, but since Rovers coming back into the game, Joe, certainly seems to marshalling Paul Cook a bit better.
Yeah, well, Paul Cook's got little threat other than his kicking game when deep into his own half, so if we can maintain Doncaster, keep them pinned back, then he's not going to pose such a threat, that's for certain. Doncaster, though, without a doubt, showing great respect for the Rovers when they're kicking deep. They're making sure this ball's going to touch because they've already seen what a threat we pose when counter-attacking, returning the ball. Both Will Sharp and in particular Jai Hitchcock's in this first half have shown a real threat doing that.
Certainly have. Hitchcock's return game is probably showing out to be one of his biggest strengths as Rovers now come forward as Bostock. What a run again from Bostock, looking for support, deciding on that occasion to hold on. The Dons defensive line is all in front of the referee there. Here goes Ellis, Matt's in half now. Takes on the line himself. Here's the last tackle, says the referee. Another high kick from Sykes. The wind's taken that one though. As Chappell takes it and he'll put the kick forward. Actually, for Nathan Chappell for a centre, that's not a bad kick, Joe.
No, we'll have that, but yeah, Paul Sykes put his foot through that one. It went above the stance here and it bananaed back on the side. I'm not sure Chappie was ready for that.
Certainly not. Here are the Dons now in possession. On the 30-metre line, 5 minutes left to half time. Still Doncaster 4, Featherstone 0. It was the same when we were here last year. It was a very tight game as well. As here's Lee Waterman, one of the more seasoned campaigners in the Doncaster side, but a real workhorse as well. Doncaster just short of halfway now. That's the last tackle. Another good defensive set from Rovers, pinning the Dons back, and that's a kick over the top, easily taken there by Hitchcox. And even when he's only got maybe 10 metres of space to run into, he'll still run into it. Will Sharp trying to work the run around, but leads that one. And Rovers are attacking now, trying to work out on their own left-hand touchline. Doncaster defence moving up very well though. And here's Will Sharp again. Tim Spears. Here's the last tackle. Rovers just sort of halfway now. It's a kick from Marginet. It's a knock on. Rovers fans want to knock on. He was facing his own line though, so not given on that occasion. Here's Dave Scott now. He's such a dangerous fullback as well. It seems to me, Joe, at the moment, both defences are definitely on top at the moment, but Rovers have come back into the game.
Yeah, this is a side where both defences are locking out really at the moment. Yeah, we see obviously tip the ball horizontal. You've got to be playing all over the player's legs there. The tackle had been complete. It didn't need to be done, and we conceded a penalty there. Yeah, we see both making decent field position coming out of the halves, but unable to do anything once they get there because the defences are locking out. They're sliding very well, and the communication's brilliant across both teams.
Here are the Dons now. Waterman to the line. That's a good run from Waterman and Rovers. This is where Paul Cook is dangerous. And here is Paul Cook now, who moves the ball on to Russ Spears. Cunningham now. From acting halfback, shows it twice. Rankin. That's well wrapped up. Good defence from Rovers on that occasion. The ball is knocked on by the Dons. And again, defence is strong for Rovers. 2 minutes to half time. The rain teeming down here at the Keepmoat. Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. As the clock appears to be stopped by the official. Not seen much of Mr. Taylor this afternoon. He's had a good match so far as the referee, and that's something you won't hear me say very often. Must be a player just being bandaged up. Joe, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, looking at that, I think I might have a torn muscle too. Yeah, the first half, it's really been a half of two halves. Doncaster starting the more dominant, certainly. Rovers not getting into the game until the second 20 minutes, you feel, not having a set in the opposition half and not having a single play of the ball inside their 20 for a long period. But then as we've got more into the game, we start to pose a threat. We've seen kicks will be particularly dangerous. The only try of this half coming from a kick, both in the way the ball skips up off the turf, and now as the rain's coming down, we can hear it on the roof. It must be causing havoc out there when the ball's put up high. The only time we've really seen it put high into the air, though, of course, from Paul Sykes, and that kicked Bernard back. Perhaps we'll see more effective kicking games feature in the second half.
Hopefully so. Bostock certainly made a difference here. He's in possession again. Referee not interested there. And Hitchcock's almost away. He's trying to get the offload away to Ellis. It's going to be the first knock on. It's going to be head and feet to the Dons. We've got 64 seconds left on the clock, and it's a scrum down on halfway. I rather fancy the knock-on was actually further into the Dons' half than where the scrum been put down, but that may be nitpicking. It was a tight game last year when we were down here for Doncaster against the Rovers. The Dons won out on that one by 6 points. So far it is only 6-0 here. I wonder if we'll see an early kick and chase. Hitchcock is dropped back already. Cunningham moves that ball inside now. Waterman in attendance. The ball has come to Waterman. He's got away from one. He may be a seasoned campaigner, but he certainly runs that ball in well, Lee Waterman. Rankin moves that ball on to Mitch Clark. Cunningham waits. Cook now. That ball's a knock on, that's going to be it, I think. I don't think we're going to see another attacking chance. There's only 10 seconds left on the clock. Looking over at the timekeeper away to our left hand side. The fingers on the button. I think maybe we'll see one play. Doncaster have got a winger back deep. This is going to be the last play, I fancy. Rovers trying to work it. And that is the last play of the first half. A very nippy, a tale of two halves, as Joe said earlier on. The only try of the half coming after 8 minutes to Danny Cowley. That wasn't converted. It was a kick through by Paul Sykes. Doncaster dominating the first 20 minutes. Rovers coming back in the second quarter. But it is half time here at the Keepmoat. Joe, if you're Andy Hay, what do you say at half time?
Well, you've got to be pleased in the way that your side responded to going down in the game quite early on. We certainly came more into it, and we certainly the more promising side and the side on top in the second half. Really, you've got to look at taking advantage of the elements. You've got to put the ball in the air and make sure we have a good chase and pressure the fullback and wingers on the return. When we do get into their half and we've got ball in hand, we've got tackles in the back, we've got to make sure we keep hold of the ball, Ben, because we say it again and again, without the ball you can't score, and this game has some real intensity about it. There's tackles flying in, all firm, all fair. But, you know, sometimes we need to make sure we're keeping hold of it, we're the more composed side, and that we're creating the chances.
Positive note on the first half again, the performance of Hitchcock's at fullback. Some great returning of the ball, and Will Sharp as well on that wing.
Yeah, Will Sharp, he's always a tricky little player, isn't he, Will Sharp? He runs in even there on the last play of the half, trying to work himself free, and he's a determined sod.
And so, that is half-time here at the Keepmoat Stadium. It's been a tale of two halves. Hopefully the second half Rovers can hit back. But half-time here, it's Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. Welcome back to the second half here at the Keepmoat Stadium. Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. A half of two halves is very much what the cliche of that first half. The Dons in almost full control in that opening 20 minutes. But then Rovers coming back strongly in the second quarter. But with the Dons who get the first use of the ball in the second half. And it's Paul Sykes with the kick-off towards the Dons left. Bounces once and it's taken. So, very tight first half, Joe. Very nip and tuck all the way through. Second half, is it going to be some more of the same?
Yeah, we've got a real arm wrestle on our hands. It's going both ways, and which way it swings in the end, I suppose, will decide the game. Still think Rovers have got something in them, an extra gear to find. Will we find it in this second half? That's the question.
Certainly is, as Cunningham makes his way forward, back in half back. He's been a real threat for the Dons in the first half as Gutman's in now. Cunningham's certainly causing problems from acting half for the Dons.
Yeah, Cunningham causing problems, but equally Andy Ellis causing problems for the Rovers. So out of hooker and fullback, both teams posing a threat, that's for sure. Now we see a high kick put into the air and a good chance to return here from Hitchcock's. Can we see the same again? He's there with a fend, but this time they're wise to it and they get up in numbers.
I fancy that's something Doncaster will be working on at half time. Surely that's interference. Referee not interested, and here's Will Sharp trying to spin away from the tackle. No tries in 1.5 games for Will Sharp. I'm not sure if he's approaching a record now, but after his prolific scoring efforts last season. And here are Rovers now in the Doncaster half with Cordy. The ball's come loose. Who's that off? What's he going to say? It's all on. It came off Doncaster, but the ball went backwards, so Once again, Rovers turning possession over. The ball came off Cunningham and went backwards. So once again though, Joe, Rovers not completing a set and turning possession over.
No, it's an adventurous offload attempt from Matty James, and he's not aware that other players are wise to it, and so it doesn't come off, and now we see ourselves under threat here.
Indeed, and here are the Dons now. Cunningham. Through the hands it goes. That's a slow passage of play though for Doncaster. Stuart Howlett on dual reds from the whole team. Here's Rankin. That's a high kick. It's not. That's gone backwards in the wind as well. Oh, that wind is awful, Joe. The second time in the match we've seen a high kick like that. Trying to get the high kick, get the distance, but the ball going actually backwards from where the kick was taken. Yeah, we've seen banana kicks in this game. The ball's going up in the air, and it's a lottery as to where it goes. That can cause havoc for both attack and defence. Sometimes it reaps benefits for you, and sometimes it's your undoing. Tim Spears now plays that ball just inside the Dons 40, Sights. That's great, good play from Rovers. Here's Matt Ryan. Sights to Matt James again. Rovers then attacking the Dons 20, inside the Dons 20. In fact, they're on their 18-yard line. Sights again now. Drops that off. There's a kick through. There's a good kick for Chappell. It's Nathan Chappell is over. The try is given for Rovers. It was a great kick through from Paul Sights. It was great kick through from Hitchcock, sorry. Showing his skills not only at returning the ball, but skills with the ball. Chappell still had a lot of work to do though.
Yeah, it's well orchestrated there from Paul Sykes. He sorts for Hitchcock to come around the back, then Hitchcock puts in a neat little grubber kick in behind, just like Doncaster used to score their first try. And Nathan Chappell's the most aware, most alert, gets the ball down. It's a great dive for the ball and a good finish.
Certainly was. So the Don playing tennis, so it still had a lot of work to do to get that ball down though, Joe. When the kick came through to it, with two Don playing the tennis, almost had to reach round the back of one of them to get that ball down. But a great effort to actually do that.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's exactly the kind of thing you want from your men on the fringes, and he showed his talents there, that's for sure. Now, Paul Sykes, it's a difficult kick here, but a chance to take his side out in front. Will this continue to be nip and tuck for the rest of the game? Certainly not one to take your eyes off.
Certainly not. It's certainly not one for the old ticker as well. Nip and tuck all the way. It's practically identical try to the ones the Dons scored in first half. Paul Cook not able to convert that one. Be interesting to see if Paul Sykes can convert this one. It's the Battle of the Pauls at 6 this afternoon. It's true though. And so Paul Sykes, the left-footed kicker, so it's not easy for him by any means, but he has certainly got the talent to do it. There's the kick, and it's just gone to the left of the upright. And I mean, just wasn't a lot in that. All square here at the keep mode. Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 4.
Yeah, agonisingly close from Sykes there with the boots. Unfortunately, it goes just wide, and we've got a real game on our hands here then. It's 4-all. Just 5 minutes in, we've got 35 minutes left of this game. It's going to be a belter.
Certainly, there's certainly nip and tuck all the way. And Sykes able to take that kick off. And here comes Matt James now. That's a good return. What a drive from Matt James. And I think that may well have been a little bit of holding down there, cheeky holding down by the Dons. Or an attempt at. It was Steve Snitch doing it. Ellis now though. Rovers attacking down this left-hand channel on halfway already. 3 tackles in. Sykes. Spears. Here's Sykes again now. That's Andy Bostock. Here's the last tackle, says the referee. Paul Sykes it is with a kick through this time. That's taken. It's going to be a penalty to Rovers though. I fancy Paul Sykes may have been taken out off the ball. I don't know what Andy Hayes said at half time, Joe, but it's a different Rovers that have come out second half.
It really is, mate. We saw issues with following up on our tries last week, but blimey, we followed that one up well, didn't we? We had 3 drives that got us to halfway. First from the 2 prop forwards. We had Matt James take that first one in. What a fantastic drive that was. Then Andy Bostock chucked his marker. Matt Ryan on Joel Reg, showing that Joel Reg players don't just come here for a run out. He wants to have a good game today as Andy Bostock takes another one in there. But then earning the penalty, you start to put sides under pressure, and that's how you get chances.
Certainly, and here the Rovers, well that's a great hit on the Rovers. And it's a penalty for offside. Oh, that's a big goal. Oh, what a hit it was though by the Dons. I can't see who actually did it. They came flying out of the line, and before Nathan Chappell could take that ball, it was a flying hit, but the referee, Mr. Turley, has penalised the Dons for offside, Joe.
Rovers sending it out wide, but yeah, man came out of nowhere then, and they put a hit on Paul Sykes, rather taking the 2 here to put the Rovers in front, you'd feel, just to the right of the sticks. Yeah, big call from the referee there. Donny had just looked to leave some pressure, and now Rovers are going to take the lead.
It was a question I was going to ask when we had the last penalty, whether you would take the 2 in this sort of game. The option's been taken this time. This will give Rovers a 2-point lead. It's that tight again, Joe. There's 2 points at the end of the day. As Paul Sykes steadies himself to take this kick, 2 points at the end of the day could make the difference.
Without a doubt, mate. We saw Doncaster's game against London really taught us that. Last week that only went down to 4 points. That many games in this division. Well, across all divisions in rugby league at the moment, they're just going down to a single score. This is going to be a tight one, you feel.
Indeed it is, as Paul Sykes has kicked the goal. So Rovers have a 2-point lead. So Rovers take the lead for the first time this afternoon. 8 coming up to 10 minutes gone in the second half. It's Doncaster 4, Featherstone Rovers 6. So Rovers with a 2-point lead. The kick-off's taken. Taken easily enough by Sykes, and here comes the return from Matt James again. There seems to be so much more urgency about Rovers in this second half. Bostock now. Ellis. Rovers, the level of urgency seems to have gone up 2 or 3 steps since half time, Joe. I don't know what it said at half time.
Yeah, really added something again, and just within 3 tackles, Rovers are up on the Doncaster line, really bringing the ball back well here, following on their scores and making sure that they put this Doncaster side under pressure. In the opposition half now for the kick. Sykes there again, Doncaster not taking out late this time, but Dave Scott pinned right back on his own line there to take the ball out. It's a fantastic chase.
Certainly, it's almost a perfect set for Rovers from scoring. When you get the ball back, if you could choose a perfect set without a try in it, then that was it, surely.
Yeah, that's one right out of the coaching manual.
Here are the Dons now then. Struggling to get out of their own 20. They've upped the intensity in defence as well as attack of Rovers. And here are the Dons now. Waterman acting halfback. Moves that ball inside. On the Rovers, on their own 40 now, sorry, the Dons. Here's the last tackle. The Doncaster are still inside their own half. It's Cook. Cook with the kick through as Hitchcock and Sharp come across. Who's taking it? Sharp is. I think it was a case of, do you want it? No. Do you want it? No. Sharp said, well, I'll have it. And a penalty for Rovers. The frustration setting in from the Dons. You can see the hands in the air. They don't like that call. The referee, though, the penalty is given. And after you do all that hard work from the Dons, you pin Rovers back in their own 20, Joe. And on the very first tackle, you give a like that.
Yeah, it's a great chase from the Dons, but then going in with a shoulder, I believe the referee's awarded a penalty. Paul Sykes now an opportunity to get us out, get us some good territory. Yeah, taking us up to just short of halfway with that penalty. We restart the set again, reload, and let's see if we can score some points.
Indeed, and Rovers now on halfway. Doncaster certainly, you've seen some niggling tactics setting in from the Dons. Baldwinson back on for Rovers. Ellis finds Spears. Spins away from one, but wrapped up by the next two. We're going to see the return of Pascal Dunn, and as the Rovers put the ball down, we are going to see the return of Pascal Dunn and also of Matt Carver. Rovers turning over possession there, but when your confidence is high, you're going to try new things, Joe. And Rovers are out, and you can tell confidence is high in both attack and in defence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's why we love watching the sport, isn't it? We want to see players attempt things, and sometimes they got to come off and it's got to be put down as brilliant. Occasionally it won't come off. Now as we see James Lockwood coming down the sideline, he's going to resume. Let's see if he can add something to the side. Which back row is going to come off?
Here are the Dons, Carbet just on the Rovers 40 now. It's the last tackle, and it's a kick up through by Rankin. That's way too deep though, too much on that kick. And let's see if we can see a return from Hitchcock like we saw in the first half. I think that return from Hitchcock in the first half, Joe, I think that was probably the turning point of the game. That's when he's really fancied Rovers were going to come back into it. It's not Hitchcock's this time, it's Sharp, but Rovers. A disappointing kick for the Dons at the end of that set.
Yeah, you don't want to be sending it out there. As James Lockwood does come on, it's Tim Spears who comes off the field. Let's see what James Lockwood's capable of. We see some criticism after his performance last week. To me, I do think sometimes his effort goes unnoticed. Without ball in hand, he's a very committed defender, gets through a lot of work rate, and sometimes that goes unappreciated.
Sykes now finds Lockwood. And just as you're praising Lockwood for his work rate, he knocks the ball forward, Joe. And Rovers once again turning over possession. In this sort of game, in this tighter game, you can't afford to keep doing that.
Oh, you can forget that, Lockie. You're one lad, I try and big you up. And that's what you do to me. That's the last time I tried to help you out, right? Yeah, Dons now finally getting possession back, but they're in their own half. Can we look to pin them here? They send it down the short side, and it's a good defend there, but to no avail. They gain no extra yardage. It's some great work from the forwards there. They pin him down, and Andy Ellis is able to get back in the line well. Pellicina here, bringing it up well. It does look like a powerful run. He looks like he's got to break through every time, but the Rovers defence are well organised, and they're able to hold him up now as they bring it down the left.
Certainly the powerful run has certainly made a difference for the Dons this afternoon, and we're looking for more of the same from him in this second half as we saw in the first. As we're going to see the return of Paul Wood now for Rovers. He's trotting down the touchline, probably at the end of this defensive set, I fancy. Here's Palliasina now. Wood just in discussion there with the fourth official. The kick's through by the Dons. Will Sharp able to retrieve it, takes the tackle, and now we're wondering now who's going to come off for Rovers, and here's Hitchcock's. Matt Ryan. Rovers there penalised for not playing the ball correctly, I presume. But one thing I noticed in that set though, Joe, Matt Ryan wasn't exactly fighting to get back in the Rovers line there. He was just taking a steady stroll back.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know if a player's carried or not. You don't know if he sees that there's no need to rush back, because often your outside backs, they're going to take those first couple of runs and get you out. It allows your forwards to have an extra rest, but a young lad like that on the outside fringes, you'd be hoping he does work back, particularly as a dual edge player. He's wanting to impress and get back in for his Super League side. At least that's the hope.
Eight here the Dons down the left. Dan Cowley. Already scored one, very, very tight to the touchline. Manages just to stay in. And here are the Dons now, 5 metres away from the Rovers line. Probably less, actually, to be fair. Cook drops it off to Paliasina. On the 6th, and another penalty for the Dons. There's a shout from below us for 2. I don't know if that's actually the coaching staff. It is. They're going to go for the 2. The call has come from Tony Miller to take the 2. Sorry, no, Paul Cook. Tony Miller's last year, wasn't he? Yeah, the call has come from Paul Cook to take the 2. And in fact, so Doncaster are going to do that again. Mentioned it to you when Rovers did it, Joe. It's that tight a game. Surely at this stage, you know, and it's a game like this, 1 point's better than 2. None.
Yeah, 1 point certainly isn't better than 2, but yeah, no worries there. 2 points definitely the way to go. Both defences seeming relatively impenetrable. We've seen 2 lucky outcomes from Grubbers perhaps putting behind the line, but other than that, neither side being able to break through, so taking the 2 definitely a wise option. It's going to level the scores here. We said it would be a tight game, and with just over 20 minutes to go, it's certainly looking that way.
Indeed, it's going to be Doncaster. Then here's the kick. It is successful. The flags go up. It's Stuart Sanderson, so we're level again. We're level again. It's Doncaster 6, Featherstone Rovers 6. I fancy, Joe, the way this game is going, it could end up coming down to a 1-pointer at some point. It's that tight a game. Neither side has really managed to get a grip on the game to the point where they've got that comfortable margin.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see this game more than a score separating the 2 sides. So you do think next time you're in the opposition 30, what do? Do you go for a 1-pointer? Do you try and stick it between the uprights, or do you stick it into the corner, try and pin them back and keep control of this game? Both theories have merit, but it's up to the players out there on the field and the coaching staff on the sidelines.
Both players in the side certainly have players capable of getting the 1-pointers. Doncaster, of course, we know all about Paul Cook. Rovers have got the likes of Paul Sykes in there.
Yeah, Paul Sykes very competent with the boot. We understand Margine's a capable kicker. Other players we're yet to find their talents out, but Gaz Moore out of the side, we know he can be threatening certainly. We've seen that for Batley already in the past. Now as the kick there goes to the touch, it's going to be Rovers' ball on the 30, I feel.
Yeah, so Rovers will get head and feed at this scrum on the 30. A great chase on that kick, great pressure on the kicker there, and probably not the kick he wanted to put in, but the kick was away. The referee just in discussion with Lee Waterman, I think, there about something, I'm not sure what. The scrum goes down, it'll be Paul Sykes who'll feed it. Andy Ellis out to the base, finds Will Sharp. So Rovers then starting this set on their own 30. Baldwinson again. No, it's not, it's Hitchcock. My apologies, here's Lockwood. It wasn't Hitchcock either, it was Foster, we don't know between us. Here's Paul Wood. That's one I do know. Got 3 players in the Rovers team, all wearing the same boots, it's confusing. as Matt Ryan now. Sykes again. That's a high crossfield kick from Sykes. Oh, that's caused problems. And if that could have just come off the upright, that was a very dangerous kick. And there's a quick tap. Wasn't on the 20. And the Dons are away. Oh, Joe says he's got pace to burn. We're going to see a penalty for flopping on. We saw Jai Hitchcock do it in the first half, so what a kick, what a tap restart.
Yeah, great one there, whereas Jai Hitchcock's managed to work free of his marker. Dave Scott there just made sure he was going to take on Ben Blackmore for pace. He burned down the outside of him, and he certainly had the run on him. Blackmore able to grab him around the legs, work him to the ground, and then Baldwinson does flop down. He gives away the penalty, but perhaps it's worthwhile stopping. Stops Doncaster, gain the quick play of the ball, and it allows our defence to recover. Got some underhand tactics there. The Doncaster player pushing Matt Ryan to the ground there, and Rovers get a penalty now. Not what Doncaster will be wanting to see. Them also lacking composure in the attacking third.
Paul Cook, I think he'll be absolutely furious with that one. Doncaster had a great attacking position, and one of their players came charging in, pushing, trying to push a Rovers player from the play of the ball, conceding a penalty, and that is just stupidity in my opinion, and Paul Cook isn't going to be impressed with that one.
Ludicrous. I think it was Rankin who took place in the action, and I don't know what was going through his head, because nothing good's ever going to come out of that. The referee's always going to give a penalty. It's clear as day for him to see as Paul Wood takes the ball in while their legs still pumping as he's worked to ground. It takes so many men to take a player like that to ground. 4 players on that occasion. It sucks them in and allows players to get wide and get running here. As that offload's taken from Doncaster and they've got the ball back. Both sides lacking composure with the ball here.
Surely at this stage of the game, Joe, with just under 20 minutes left, possession has got to be key. It's that tight a game at the moment. Here are the Dons now just short of the Rovers 30, and I fancy not far off drop goal territory. And Rankin steps inside. We know what Paul Cook can do with the boots. Here's Palliasina, through the hands it goes. Here is Cook now. Drops that ball off inside to Dan Cowley. Cook attacks in half-back, moves the ball inside. Carver. Cook again, he's going for the drop. It's gone wide of the uprights, but Rovers is what led to that opportunity for that in the first place.
Yeah, Doncaster there going for the drop goal, showing their hand as something goes wrong with the tripod to the left of us. Anyway, Rovers bringing it out well here. This is exactly what we want to see. It's on the touchline. There's a Doncaster player being attended to by the physio, but we keep plumbing forward with this ball. Doncaster there showing that if they get the opportunity, they will be going for the drop goal. They know this is going to be a tight game. Will Rovers do the same if they get the opportunity? Let's see.
Indeed, Rovers on halfway now. Lockwood gets them into Don's half. Still a fair way to go to get into drop goal territory. With 63 minutes on the clock, it's Doncaster 6, Featherstone Rovers 6. Sykes drops it off to Wood. Rovers on the 40 now. This is the last tackle. The ball's worked to the left. It's Sykes with a dink through for Sharp to chase. The kick's too deep though. And here's Dave Scott again. That's a good chase from Rovers. What they'll be looking for now is a mistake from the Dons. Keep your defence tight, keep your discipline tight. Pen the Dons back here and you're in with a shout, Joe.
Yeah, definitely. End of the game, so little in it. If sides are going to start going for drop goals, then it's all become a territorial game now. It's pinning your opponents back and making sure you play the game in their end of the field. As Paul Cook shugs off his man there, he works his way up to the halfway line. What a great run there from a seasoned professional there. As we see Cunningham get to the play of the ball, they bring it down the right. Waterman's got the ball, but well done Matt Ryan there, tackling him to ground, holding him up, making sure we keep control of this now on the 5th tackle.
Indeed, it was a great defensive set for Rovers, but a lucky breakthrough from Cook. And that's gone The kick through from the Dons has gone touching goal, so it's going to be a tough restart on the 20. Rovers look to have the Dons pen back in that set though, Joe, and then a look at, one missed tackle could make so much difference in this match.
He certainly can. It really can come down to that one-on-one just between two players, which one comes off the best. But isn't that why we love this sport? It really is. Just one moment can completely change this game. 6-all, so little time left. Let's see where this one goes.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We're in for a classic last 15 minutes here, as we have got exactly 15 minutes left on the clock. It's the Dons 6, it's the Rovers 6. Lockwood probably stealing AR from where he was tackled. Here goes Ellis. Drops the ball off to Sharp. That's a kick through by Hitchcocks again. Oh, Dave Scott didn't seem to want that one. He was stepping back, and in the end, Joe, he had to dive forward to take it.
It was a very awkward cover kick there from Jai Hitchcocks. I'm not sure he made clean contact with boot to ball, but it gave an awkward bounce there for Dave Scott, and he was unable to take it cleanly, so had to pounce on the ball. Great chase from the Rovers players there on that left side as well. Now as we look to pin the Dons back again, we're certainly controlling these later stages of the game.
Oh, that could easily have been a penalty there for Paul Ward. Waterman though. Rovers just needs, that's a better set from Rovers. A much better set. The Dons are still in the 40. It's a kick from Rankin. Taken on the full by Blackmore. He's got 10 metres to run into. If Rovers can get into the Dons 30, we're going to see a penalty there. Tipping beyond the horizontal. Joe doesn't seem to like the look of that one. Rovers is up on his feet. Fortunately, he's Ben Blackmore, but that was nasty, Joe.
Yeah, stupidity from Donny there. Blackmore does well to take the ball on the full, runs up into the line, but then the Doncaster defence attempting to hold him up by lifting him above the horizontal gives away a stupid penalty from their point of view, and now the kick to touch is going to get us into their half. We've got a chance to launch an assault. First time since drop goals really been an option, though we might have the opportunity here.
Indeed, and here are the Rovers now. Just short of the Doncaster 30. 6 tackles in hand. Ellis moves that ball inside, and Rovers inside the 30 now. They're certainly getting into range. This is all on, folks, and Rovers have got the players who can do it. Ellis. Doncaster are trying to play the ball down now. Ellis. Wood driving for the sticks. Rovers are in prime position. Paul Sykes has got 18 metres. Doncaster again slowing things down. Sykes, he doesn't take the drop this time, he gives it to Matty Ryan. Rovers aren't going for it. Sykes. Sharp! Will Sharp! It's a forward pass! The referee has given it as a forward pass. Oh, Joe was just about to start jumping for joy at the side of me. We said would they take the drop goal, they didn't. It was the right option, but the pass was forward and the chance is gone.
Poor man with a monitor in front of us, and I nearly jumped off the sledge on top of him. There, that pass really borderline. Can see why the referee's giving it forward. It probably was. It hit the angle he had was better than ours, but blimey, why do you do this to me? Featherstone Rovers putting the ball out wide there on the left. There's Doncaster breakaway down their left-hand side. Cunningham there from the back of the ruck. This game, folks, 8 minutes left on the clock now. It could go either way.
11 minutes left on the clock. Who's going to come up with this ball? The referee's going to put the knock on. It's going to be head and feet to Rovers on their own 40. Oh, what a match we have got here this afternoon, folks.
Being replaced by 15, Mitch Clark.
As Mitch Clark comes on for the Dons. 11 minutes left here at the Keepmoat Stadium. What a match we're seeing this afternoon, Joe. It's a low-scoring affair, but it's such an exciting match in so many different ways.
Yeah, so many people excited for the World Club Challenge. Later this evening, they should be down here at the Keepmoat Stadium to watch Featherstone versus Doncaster. This is definitely the game of the day, Ben, regardless of what happens tonight with South Sydney and St Helens.
Indeed it is. The weather's playing its part, and Rovers now in the Dons half. Again, working that position. Here's Paul Woods again. Gets the offload away. Marginet drinking and diving. He's got a lovely stepper, Jerry Marginet. Ellis, Lockwood now driving for those sticks. Rovers are in the Dons 20 again. What's the option this time? Ellis, Wood, Sykes. Rovers working it out to that right-hand side now. Hitchcock's still going. Hitchcock trots it off. Matty Ryan! Matty Ryan is over for Featherstone Rovers. What a fantastic try! Has he given it? It's Matty Ryan who scored what can only be described as a fantastic try for Rovers. It was a superb play from right to left, the ball going across the line, and Matty Ryan in possession. Mallet steps inside, and what a finish! Doncaster 6, Featherstone Rovers 10.
Unbelievable. Jai Hitchcock gets the ball out wide on the right. Once again, they can't keep hold of this man. His fens are keeping them at bay all the way. He works himself out into open pasture, goes out to the left and then gives the drop off onto his inside where he's caused so much havoc there. And Matty Ryan walks into the gap with glee. The Doncaster players are still chasing after him. They managed to grab a hold, but they're not stopping him get that ball down. And here we have it. We've taken the lead now, a chance to put us a whole 6 points in front. Paul Sykes. This could be a game when it's a very important conversion, this.
Certainly it's probably the most important conversion of the day. Across any game, it's this one. This will give Rovers a 6 point lead, and then they will really be in drop goal territory. But as it stands, a 4 point lead at the moment. A superb try. Jai Hitchcock's again causing havoc in the Doncaster ranks. Sykes then with this conversion attempt. He's kicked it, folks. It's gone straight between the uprights, directly in line with us. I followed the line of the ball. Rovers have a 6 point lead. How crucial is that right now? Doncaster 6, Featherstone Rovers 12.
Here we have it then, folks, and I believe I just saw Danny Evans receiving word from Andy Hay, who's signaling to Paul Sykes what seemed to be a ballerina step, so I assume that means go for the drop goal next time you get the opportunity. They know this is the tight game, they're respecting the opposition. Now Doncaster are capable of coming back, so we need to put ourselves on a score in front.
We certainly do. It's that tight a game, but Rovers have got the edge. Rovers have got the quality to get up there at the moment. Here's Paul Woods. He's had an outstanding match today as Paul Woods for Rovers in the forwards. A real workman-like performance. And when you've got forwards like Paul Woods, like Jordan Baldwinson, Matt James off the bench, Andy Bostock off the bench, it's an embarrassment of riches, Joe.
It really is, but on Paul Wood, he's dropped down the division and he's really been impressive. Sometimes you see players, they drop down and they don't quite set the world like you'd expect them to. But the trio of Pauls today, Sykes, Wood and Cookie, they've shown that old guys have still got it.
I mean Sykes, Wood and Baldwinson. You've lost me there, Joe. I'll leave that one as it is. Here are Doncaster now, trying to work out from their own half now. They're just short of the 40, but tigerish defence from Rovers, not giving the Dons room to breathe almost. Through the hands it goes again. Cook moving it out wide to Waterman. Waterman's away. Great chasing back defence from Rovers. It's the last tackle, Cook. Waterman again. Waterman with a kick for the corner, that's going to find touch. So Rovers survive. But what a good break from Waterman down that left-hand side, Joe.
Certainly 7 minutes to go and your heart skips a beat when the opposition make a break like that. Very important that we play ourselves out, we complete the set here and we put in a good kick deep into opposition territory here. We need to make sure we pin them back because as they showed there, they can be dangerous down the flanks, that's for sure.
Stop's coming back on for Rovers. Be interesting to see who comes off on this occasion. The scrum is fed and here's Will Sharp. Tell you what would be very nice, Mr. Referee, will be a penalty any time you want to give one to help Rovers out of here. Here's Tim Spears. It is Bostock is now on. Can't see who's come off yet. It's Paul Wood who's come off. So Paul Wood's gone off and Andrew Bostock back on. But here come Rovers again, bringing that ball forward. Hitchcock's again. The work rate of this player is absolutely phenomenal, folks. If you've not seen him yet, you're missing a treat. Here's Sykes to Bostock now. And Rovers just short of halfway. Sykes. He'll kick for the corner. That, Joe, is an absolutely fantastic kick from Paul Sykes. When you've got a 6-point lead and you're on halfway on the last, you couldn't put that kick in a better place.
That's exactly what you want, all those years of experience. We know both sides have been eager on the kick return to get it forward and they've both been very dangerous ball in hand. So you put that ball dead, you run the clock down a bit, although they were quick to set the scrum and get the time taken off. And you've got a chance to set your defence now and look to pin the Dons back. 10 metres out from their own line, they've got all that way to go to even think about getting back in this game. Fantastic kick, showing all his experience from Paul Sykes there.
Indeed, and here are now the Dons and Rovers for now. The big word, Joe, surely has got to be discipline. No penalties in this set. Pin the Dons back where they are. And then once your kick comes in, you've got a chance of going for that drop.
Without a doubt, we're getting up and being very determined. But you can't be too overzealous. We've got the ball though here. The ball's come loose in the tackle there. And we're just in front. Do you put the ball over now, ladies and gentlemen? We're bringing the ball down the left here. We're using up all the tackles. Agonisingly close here.
Indeed, it was a mistake from the Dons and Rovers now. It's a great charge from Rovers, driving for that line, just metres short, folks, right in front of the sticks. It's Marginet. Marginet has kicked the drop goal. Remy Marginet. Oh, ho, ho. Paul Sykes was a foil. He was stood backwards, Paul Sykes. Paul Sykes was stood back with his hands up like he was going to go for the drop goal. Completely missed him out. The ball found Marginet further back. And that's what we said, Joe, earlier on. We talked about the drop goals. The players who we've got that can take them. And Marginet showing exactly how to do it.
Yeah, Marginet, great kick there. There's, we've seen the knock-on being given, but which way here? Rovers with the ball. First knock-on given to Doncaster now. With 30 metres out, we've got the ball in hand with just over 3 minutes to go. Sticking up your jumper, lads.
Indeed, Joe, it's been a very different type of match. The match we saw at Hunslow on Monday night. Rovers' performance has been very workmanlike. We've seen a lot of outstanding performances again. Hitchcock's at fullback. For me, springs out to mind. Paul Sykes has been superb as well. Joel, your man of the match.
Well, you've got to pay some credit to the forwards all the way through this game. They've plumbed us upfield well, but you certainly can't look anywhere else than Jai Hitchcock's at fullback. Every time he's brought the ball forward, he's done it with such vigour, conviction and determination. and to set up that final try for Matt Ryan. What a fantastic run and bit of play that was. So Jai Hitchcock, without a doubt, is my man of the match today, Ben.
2 man of the match performances in 2 games for Jai Hitchcock. He's certainly setting the bar very high for the rest of the team to try and take that off him. Rovers with a 7-point lead now. Here goes Tim Spears. Doncaster 6, Featherstone Rovers 13 with 2.5 minutes left. That's a kick. Who's that come off? It's still the last. So Andy Bostock puts the kick in. It was what a kick, it's still holding up. Oh, games like this, Phil, you've got to laugh, you've got to enjoy it. The kick was charged down, it came to Andy Bostock, and of all the people to put a kick in, he's one of your biggest prop forwards. To be fair to him, Joe, it was a pretty good kick.
Rather dangerous, and it had a good chase on it now. 2 minutes to go, 2 scores needed from the Dons. I don't see it, Ben. I think we're home and dry now.
Indeed, 2 performances, 2 defeats from 2 for the Dons at the minute. A disappointing, well, an encouraging defeat last week. I fancy Paul Cook will be disappointed with today's defeat.
Yeah, his side looked to be in control earlier on. They'll be more pleased with that first half performance than they were last week at the Broncos. Going away to London though, once you're back at home in front of your own supporters, you'd be hoping for a better second half performance than this. But certainly just some of the play that's been put on from the Rovers today, particularly Jai Hitchcock's, has been impossible to handle, that's for sure.
It certainly has. I think Rovers have found a real jewel in the crown there, having a fullback with the ability of Jai Hitchcock to return that ball especially into the open space. As here goes Will Sharp now. We're into the last 60 seconds here at the Keepmoat. It's Doncaster 6, Featherstone Rovers 13. And Rovers, but with this victory, Joe, not only is it 2 points, but they're putting down a real marker to the rest of the championship as well.
Definitely is, as we go into a particularly difficult set of games. On the horizon, we've got games against Bradford and London, both coming up thick and fast. And so it's going to be very difficult, but certainly make sure you're down at the big fellas next week, as Matt Ryan there puts the kick in, but it's out on the full. Come on, lads, I know the game's won realistically with 30 seconds to go, but let's be smarter with the kicking play.
Certainly a disappointing finish to that set for Rovers, but Doncaster still having to score twice. There's only 9 seconds left on the clock. A kick over the top from Cunningham, that's the last play. Hitchcock ain't bothered at all. I think the best way I can describe that, Joe, is professional. What a match it's been for Rovers. Dan Cowling got the Dons in front early doors with a try after 8 minutes, which wasn't converted. Nathan Chappell then levelled it up for Rovers. That was the half-time score, 4-0 to the Dons. Only 4 minutes into the second half, Nathan Chappell levelled things up, which couldn't be converted by Sykes. Paul Sykes though did get a penalty goal 4 minutes later to stretch the lead out to 2. Sanderson then got a penalty for the Dons to make it 6-0. Before 10 minutes to go, Matt Ryan able to get over 10 metres in from touch. Goal by Paul Sykes. And then of all a superb foil by Paul Sykes. The ball found its way to Martinet. A 1-pointer that made it a 2-score lead. A very professional performance, John.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly what we needed to see in the second half. Rovers bring the ball forward well. 2 good tries, 2 great finishes. With Doncaster players surrounding the 2 players, Chappell and Ryan. Be interesting to see whether we have him in the team next week. Of course, here on Dual Reg on this occasion. But that game next week at home. First time back at the Big Fella Stadium this season. We host Bradford. Just come down from Super League. They'll be hungry to register a win against the side that have dominated this division for many years. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we've got any Dual Reg players. we need to make sure we shore up that first half, that we perform brighter than we did in the opening exchanges here at Doncaster and last week against Hunslet. If we give Bradford that much possession, they'll be dangerous, that's for sure.
Indeed, and Rovers, it has to be said, so from the lower league of the NRL, the league below, they found a real jewel in the crown at fullback, an outstanding talent in Jai Hitchcock.
Yeah, Jai Hitchcock has been bringing it very forward, very well rather. And of course we've got James Van Deegan to return to the squad. Doesn't that really give the coach some options? Both players very capable of playing both centre and fullback. Be interesting to see what happens there with those.
Indeed it will. A alert-like performance in the forwards as well. Look at the likes of Paul Wood, never holds back when he's taking it in. We've also got Jordan Baldwinson again. We've got an embarrassment of Richards, Bostock and James off the bench today. They look so strong and the strength in depth is superb.
Yeah, unbelievable in the front row, and you think to add to that, we've got Ryan Verlinden to come over from Australia. Once Carvel gets up to match fitness, he's going to come into the team, and blimey, that front row is going to be scary, that's for sure, Ben.
Indeed it is, folks. It's been a fantastic match here at the Keepmoat Stadium, should I say. It's big fellas next week. Featherstone against Bradford. Make sure you're there for that one. Full time here at the Keepmoat. It's Doncaster 6, Featherstone Rovers 13. Paul Wood, Rovers, Doncaster 6, Rovers 13. A fantastic performance and a great result.
Yeah, it was. It's a tough place to come here, and just looking at Doncaster last season, there was, a tough team, and we knew that it was going to be tough today. And the lads were speaking about some difficult results he had against them last season, so we wanted to make sure that we come out on top today, and we need to pick the points up as much as we can.
4-0 down at half time. It was the first half of two halves anyway. Doncaster came out very strongly in the opening 20, but you managed to pull it back in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was. I think probably a bit of lack of composure on our last plays. Our kicking game wasn't great, and it gave them a few opportunities, a few mistakes, and I think the difference in the first half was probably the kicking. They kicked a lot better than us and put us in difficult circumstances. But defensively, we held up strong. To concede a try off a kick, is not a bad way to finish the match.
What did Andy Hayes say to your heart and sent down? Because they came out and they looked fired up. There looks to be a real visible difference in the first half and the second.
Yeah, just talked about our kicking game and completion, and how we needed to be a bit more composed on the field and try and grind the win out really, because we could see towards the back end of the half that there was possibly flagging a bit, but was making a bit more yardage, and once the second half kicked off, I thought we just looked a little bit fitter than them, and we started breaking a few more tackles. But yeah, we're just mainly half time was about finishing sets on a high note, improving our kicking game and completing some sets, and we knew that they'd crack, and they did.
Rovers have got a real jewel in the crown at fullback this season. Jai Hitchcock has been outstanding these first two games.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he returns the ball really well, and he's bringing NRL experience, so he's definitely a talent. And not just returning the ball well, he's also very good with his communication, and he speaks well during the game. So that's what you want from your fullbacks. It's it's not just about returning the ball. It's about commanding your defence around the field, and being very vocal, and Jai's that, and he's slotted in well so far.
Very different challenge next week, probably the biggest challenge of the year. Got the Bulls at home, back at the big fellas in the new stand as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game for us. As you say, the new stands up there, and the pitch is a little bit bigger now. And first game of the season, Bradford, it couldn't be a bigger team, really, could it? And they're going to be up there towards the end of the season. So yeah, it's going to be a big challenge for us. Hopefully, we can get a good crowd on, good atmosphere, and grind another win out.
You've got a message for the fans, obviously, you've come in, you've had experience both at Wakefield and today. Great support on both matches.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the fans are great. You know, it's you can see. You know, I suppose one of the reasons I signed at Ferry is because you could see that it's, you know, rugby league through and through, and you can see that, you know, the passion in the fans, and meeting a couple of the fans as well. You know, away from the games. You know, knocking around the stadium. It's, you know, they're really, really. Passionate about this club and about the game, and you know, been great support so far, and yeah, may long it continue.
Paul, thanks for your time.
Cheers, thank you.
Andy, Doncaster 6, Rovers 13. Fantastic performance, very professional as well.
Yeah, I thought we ground out a good win, and you know, we knew it was going to be tough, and they've got a quality side and some good players in there, so we had to play well, and I think we did, especially defensively. We defended real well for the full 80 minutes, and just to let that one try in from a kick, what we really should have cleaned up, was a pretty good effort. And you know, in attack, I thought we controlled the ball a lot better this week, although there's still big improvements.
First half for two halves in a way. Doncaster came out very strongly in the first quarter, and then Rovers came back towards half time.
Yeah, they had a good win behind them, and they were getting out of trouble with the kicking game. And you know, we've got faith in our players and our off season and our conditioning and what we've been doing. And you know, we didn't. You know, it didn't help us that we had to change Sam Irwin and take him off and put Remy on. And you know, although Andy Ellis I thought was outstanding throughout the 80 minutes and playing there at hooker, it didn't really help what we wanted to achieve. But saying that, we knew they'd drop off a little bit around the first period, and we could exploit that, and we did. So it was just a case of sticking in with them early on. They wanted to start well. They've been talking about it in the press, and we needed to go with them and create some pressure on them after that.
4-0 down at half time. Rovers came out visually stronger in the second half. You could see a real difference in the attitude.
Yeah, I thought in the first 4 we didn't complete enough sets really, and we seemed to be playing a lot out of exit or yardage, and we needed to get up that end of the field more. So it's a lesson we've got to learn, because we did that on Monday as well. So second half we got on the front foot a little bit more, and once you do that, you can put a lot more pressure on teams. Difficult conditions, you know, referee's interpretation of onside, offside, questionable, but it makes it tough for you. And I think you know, this is the game we're in. It's championship, and you know that we've got to put up with that. And we've still got to rise above it and get the 2 points at the end of the day. So I thought real credit to the boys. Defensively outstanding. With the ball, a little bit more work, and we'll be a lot better.
You got a real jewel in the crown. We talked about him last week at fullback. You got a real jewel in Jai Hitchcock's at fullback. He's been superb first 2 games.
Yeah, I think he's getting a lot better, and you know, you can saw him on a better surface today. And once we get some dry weather, I'm sure we'll see the best of him. And he's very quick. He's got some decent skill as well with the ball, and he put a nice kick in as well today. And you know, he's only going to get better and better for us, and with more work and combinations in training and getting to know the boys a little bit better. He hasn't been here that long. I think we'll have a very good player there.
Sam Irwin came off in the first half. What's the news on him?
He caught a dead leg. They jumped on him out of the line. Must have caught a knee or something and got a dead leg. So you know, we tried to get him back on. He wasn't able to go back on. So hopefully he'll be all right next Sunday. Massive
challenge next week. Obviously, the Bulls at home. Back at the big fellas on the extended pitch as well. You're looking forward to it?
Yeah, I think everyone is. You know, we've been trying to keep a lid on it because we had this game first, and this was a massive game for us. But to get back home, to play on the new field, and to be playing Bradford as well, doesn't get much bigger. So hopefully there's going to be a massive crowd, which I think there will be, and the Rovers fans turn out in numbers, so we can we can outshout the Bulls fans.
Have you got a message for the Rovers fans? Have been superb first 2 matches, obviously on Monday at Wakefield, and today superb support again.
I think they've been great. Yeah, they're very vocal. They always are, and you know, it's not been too warm, has it, the last 2 games? So you just need to keep turning up, guys, and keep the faith. And you know, we're going to play some exciting stuff, and you know, we're going to defend well this year, and that's what we want to do. And we're going to be a team who works hard for each other and aim for getting 2 points. So stick with us, keep the faith, and turn up at Post Office Road next week. Just finally, what's the news on Ryan Villenden and Rennie Maitua? There isn't any news really, same as last week, so or same as Monday. So we're still waiting, and that's I know we touched on it before the game. why we've entered into the dual reg with Wakefield, just to bolster the squad a little bit. And you know, it's difficult. We've copped a couple of injuries, and with 2 players not turning up, we've had to add to our squad. And you know, I thought Matt Ryan played well for us today, and he's got that game under his belt now. If we need to use him again against Bradford, we can.
Andy, thanks for your time.
No worries.